Hi guys, by now you will have seen that I've made my choice for my holiday project. So it's the beginning of July, meaning ArcoLinux, right, winding down its holiday mode. But I have always these 2 weeks to play around and then maybe, who knows, actually go on holiday. But one of the things that I admire and that I've been using for 1.5 years is chadwm. You're looking at it, right? It's stable, it's fast, it's so efficient. My workflow, it really fits to it. I have 10 screens to the left, 10 screens. Just imagine having 20 monitors on my wall here. That's basically what I have with 2 monitors, right? 20 screens, 20 workspaces. And of course I can split each workspace into 2. So really enough. And still, this is the ISO builder. Still, sometimes I run out of workspaces because you're developing all kinds of things together and voila, jumping from one project to the other. And then you realize 20 screens is not enough. What we'll do here is DWM, right? DWM is basically the basis. That's the reference point. And you type in suck less, like you would, like this, DWM, and you'll get there. Dynamic Window Manager, DWM. Here is the reference. Read everything you can read in here. Super interesting is the patches. And there's a tutorial down here. When we go for probably this is enough. Here we have a tar GZ, but I prefer to go to the browse thing. There is this GitHub, git suckless DWM, but you can go via this link, this thing. That's the one you can git clone, Control C, Control V. Okay, same thing. And we have jumps from June to March to the 9th of last year to the 4, 9, it goes on, right? So what is important is, of course, what do these guys do? What do they put on here? So keeping track of this is important for chadwm because it's the basis. Now anything that's interesting on the internet, in my case, I use the projects folder, and in the projects folder, lots of things in here, and GitHubs is one of them. So any of the GitHubs I'll find online, and here is DWM. And what you do is from time to time git pull. And then the new code that is being pushed to these GitHubs comes in. What I'll have to do is this DWM, compare it with chadwm. Now, chadwm, like Dusk, which is just next to it, it's all about DWM, but it's a finished product. It's beautiful. It has so many possibilities. It has gaps and so many other things. So technically patches, so many patches that are already in here that you don't have to do anything, right? It's already okay. And these are all the patches that are available. And there are things in here, Control Find, about gaps. 5 references about gaps. You see? Full gaps, functional gaps, gaps. And then you find out code and the differences to change in the code of DWM. Well, the last DWM 3, we hope, right? We hope. I must say, it's difficult to know what, if this is the code that's actually for this version or a prior version, or, right? How does it really apply to the last one or to some older version? I'm not really sure about that. But okay, so we have to compare DWM with chadwm. I've just made some videos, and one of the videos I explained that we found something that was in here, was not yet in chadwm, and we just added to the list, right? Super F5, that's F5, that's GIMP. Super F4 is GIMP. So we go for a folder, that's DWM, and the one we are developing is first in the Nemesis folder, so in the desktop, chadwm, in the Nemesis folder, etc, scal, binary. This one is the same one. Compare. It's not the same, so this is all the difference between chadwm and DWM is now visible. But the things that are the same, we should have a look why. Now I've made a lot of extra changes in here, list source files, object files, made some changes. So this is okay, and I believe the code, the technical code, no, it's not this file. No, it isn't. It's another file I want to talk to you about. So the make file, this one. No. So I must have found it somewhere else. The reference, which reference was it? This one, right? That's something I must, yeah. Remember that the chadwm, the old one, referenced to something else, and now I followed DWM and it's okay, let's use these C preprocessor flags, so PP preprocessor flags, and use exactly the same as the one from DWM. And of course Solaris we don't have and all that, so that looks good. And you go and investigate more. So the config def h is completely different. This is not possible to compare. It's just it's too late. It's too much changed. You can't use that. But some of the files you actually can have a look. Okay, what are we doing here? And you see this X11R6 does not work on our system. Arch has the folder there, right? So don't be alarmed if you start with DWM from there, it won't work. We don't have X11R6, so probably release 6 or something. No, we don't have it. So yeah, you have to use your common sense. It's okay, no can do. Here we're including something. Drawing a picture, draw a picture, draw a picture. So probably gonna be this thing, not sure, but when we move over something, we got this nice image. Might be this one. I have to check it out again, but it might be that one. And here's the picture. Draw a picture. Okay, fine. We've got a picture, and DWM doesn't. Picture, pixmap. Picture, picture, picture. And that's the difference, right, between one and the other. That's not important. This one, we add more things to include, but this one is here, and the cursor font is up here. So probably something similar, but then look at the rest. It's just impossible to again compare. It becomes its own tiny window manager on its own, because there's no way we can compare this with each other anymore. And then we have all these extras, the C and the H, and the C and the H, all things that we need. Util C, just blah blah, it's okay, exactly the same. And this is also exactly the same as DWM. So some of the things are exactly the same, some of the things DWM doesn't have. Vanity gaps is these spaces, and we like spaces, and that's for everybody. Well, it's different for everybody, and you can go and change them, config def h, and have a look. Spaces, border, pixels, default border, snap, 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 show, tap. Spaces must be in here somewhere. Float bar, top bar, there's so many things you can go and change. Smart gaps, no, don't want it. And here we have some gaps, so no gaps. Those are the gaps. 0, 0, 0, and everything will be just, and we won't see anything here, nor up here, will be gone. No wallpaper anymore. So it's all about choices, as usual. It's Linux, right? But short video that TWM, well, DWM, the TWM DWM matters, and we compare as much as we can, but at some point in time it really is super different. This is still okay, but that one, was this the one that was so different? Nope, not that one either. It was this one, right? This is just impossible to start and compare things with each other. And then we're on our own. That means, and that's an important message, and that's why I'm gonna make other videos about DWM and patching these things. But we need to patch DWM. We start with the source, and from the source we can say, okay, let's try to patch something in, see what issues we get, and if we want, and I don't want anything really in chadwm, it's perfect as is. There's only one small thing that might be interesting, is how would the bar look when it would be transparent, and that's the only thing actually that, well, I'm not missing, but would like to know how will it look. And the question then, will I keep it as something else, right? So all kinds of things that we can try and have a look at. So here you see the Fibonacci code. So there are references here, 6.2, 5.82. I hope that's the reference to the version of DWM. And all we can do is then have a look. It's coming from Xmonad. So these codes need to go inside the config dev h and inside other files. So we got this new file, Fibonacci C goes in, but we have them, right? Fibonacci probably is going to be exactly the same, not sure, but this is a Fibonacci code. And let's see, else if, else if, else if, else if, else if, else if, right? So I recognize some of the things. If it's 100% the same, let's have a look at the date. 2020, and probably it is 4 years ago. So is this one any better? This one here, I don't see a date. Nope, don't see a date. And we have this one, 2020. So there you go, that's the plan. Learning how to patch DWM gradually, and the point is getting more knowledge, understanding C, and in such a way understanding chadwm, because that's still the thing, right? The effort that we're making, the holiday project that we have, is there to understand C, to understand chadwm, and DWM is the basis. So yeah, we better include the basis. Okay, that's it for now. Cheers.